Hello, Art Angels. My name's Mark Lombard. I am a hospice volunteer and I started the project for Love and Art some time ago. And the purpose of this video is to show an angel how to introduce the project to an audience. So this is the opening salvo of celebrating the art experience and knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knock. So your audience comes in, you want to meet and greet each and every member of your audience. I don't care, they could be sleeping, it doesn't matter. Put your hand on their shoulder, whatever. Say, my name's Mark. I hope we could be friends. You know, what's your name? Ask them what their name is and try to remember names as best you can because as you can see, as the presentation occurs, all of this is an engagement. We use art as the stimulus to elicit responses that we want to create. So it's really a matter of engagement here and knowing people and creating that background of relatedness is key. We want to create a safe space. People feel welcomed. People feel known. People feel marvelous. We'll say it like that. So this is the opening slide of any celebrating the art experience presentation. We start with this slide. We point at the logo and we say, my name is Mark Lombard, fill in the blank. I work for this great organization called For Love and Art. And when I say I create this magical space, I'll call it a magical space of what's about to happen. And this is how I create it. I say, we believe that viewing artwork unleashes powerful, creative, and unique experiences for people. And when they share these experiences, they elevate the quality of their lives and they enrich your souls. So I actually tell people, we're here to enrich your soul. If you don't want to have your soul enriched, there's the door. And I actually point to the door, and at this point, people are giggling, they think it's funny, who wouldn't want to have their soul enriched? But it really serves to put people on edge, to have them plant a flag in the ground that they are participating in something rather unusual. This is not Wheel of Fortune here. This is not Jeopardy. This is something really, really unusual that's designated to enrich their souls. And how the heck do you do that? So I continue after that kind of opening, that the environment in which we present. I say we do this by partnering with museums around the world. And they're so kind, they give us their collections to bring into communities like this and showcase the art to you. And not to teach you a thing or two, we figure you know enough already, but to find out from you, what do you think about this painting? How does it make you feel? So this is the introduction I usually give. I showcase the slide celebrating the art experience, knocking on heaven's door. We're going to enrich your soul. And then I progress to the next slide. And when I say I progress, these presentations are so individual. However you want to do this is fine. You just want to get the point to create an unusual space where people enter their higher selves, okay? For memory care, very often for memory care people who can't understand, powerful, creative, and unique experiences, I say, I'm here to bring you beauty, joy, and magic of life. How does that sound? And of course, everybody's, oh yeah, they can get that. They can really get that. But when I say these words, it's like they're almost like beauty, joy, magic of life. They're staccato. They're actually boom. So they land on people. They register with people. Very powerful words these are. So this is the second slide, and it kind of emphasizes or re-emphasizes what we're about, or the power of art. Art has power that flows beyond mere understanding. It nourishes and sustains. Some people call it food for the soul. You probably heard that, Mary, didn't you? Haven't you ever heard food for the soul? Of course, people nod. That's why it's so important to learn people's names, because we end up picking on people, and really getting them into this game. So today we're going to the fabulous Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art. Now you want to say a word or two about the museum that you're going to. So this is a wonderful museum to start with, because I usually say, has anyone shopped at Walmart? And of course, everybody in the room, I don't care if they're rich or poor, everybody raises their hand for this one. and the room's a buzzing, oh yeah, yeah, I shop at Walmart, it's so great. And I say that this is the museum that Walmart built, the beautiful Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art. And there's a woman named Alice Walton, who's one of the Walmart family, the Walton family. And she had this vision of bringing artwork to people at the grassroots. And she built this fabulous museum in Arkansas so the people in Arkansas could go and see fine American art. And I say, has anybody ever visited the Crystal Bridges? And of course, some people will raise their hands. We're not that far away from Bentonville. We're about 6 hours, maybe 7 hours. It's a good weekend trip for us in Dallas. So are you ready to go inside? And of course, people are going. So notice this is all like an engagement. This is not a presentation. I'm asking people questions. Are you ready to go inside? Have you ever been there? Have you ever shopped there? And then we started our very first painting here. This happens to be an Arthur Fitzwilliam Tate. The name of the artist is incidental, really. The title of the painting may be helpful. I think in this case, the title of this painting is very helpful in describing it. And I say, okay, what do you think of this? Here's our first painting. What do you think of this? And people are taking it in. And I'll ask them, do you like this painting? What do you like about it? And so people really have to, it's not just like an initial reaction to whether they like it or not, but they have to kind of think, what do they like about it? So I'll step back and talk about quality of life. So quality of life is a very interesting phenomenon. Having a great quality of life is very important at every age. We believe that. The government, everybody believes that. Without a great quality of life, life sucks. So there are 4 components to quality of life. One is psychosocial, like sharing with people, having a conversation, like being known, to know and to be known. How about that? Psychosocial. The second aspect is cognitive. There's a cognitive dimension. When you work on crossword puzzles, for example, people enjoy that. And it turns out in the brain, the same center that figures out crossword puzzles and all of that meaning about stuff, figures out all of that, is next to the pleasure centers in the brain. So as those synapses get fired, we get a kick, we get a thrill. So cognitive is the second aspect. The third aspect is spiritual. We are spiritual beings. And the fourth aspect is physical. And this project impacts physical quality of life too. People come in with aches and pains, and when they engage in this different conversation, a very engaging, it draws them out of their present circumstances. It frees them from their prisons that they find themselves in. And it's long lasting. It doesn't last just until the end of the presentation. It stays with them for a very long time. It increases the morale of the entire community. This is what we've been noticing. So here we have, back to the painting, we have a black bear having a showdown here with a fellow that looks like he's right out of Lewis and Clark Expedition. And there's one of his buddies in the back here. Now we have pointers. We can point this out here. I can usually enlarge paintings, the images. I can enlarge them on my computer, but for these movies, I can't seem to do that. I haven't figured it out yet. So I'll just point to this fellow. So this fellow looks like he's in a tight fix. This is a real squeeze here. Look at that. He's being attacked by this big black bear. But if we notice, we pay attention here, he's holding on to a knife. Do you see that? So he's actually getting his digs into the bear too. The bear's in a tight fix. Everybody's in a tight fix in this painting except for this fellow. I guess this fellow has to make sure that he has an accurate shot here to save his friend. And interesting, the bear is sitting on the fellow's rifle. Oh no. You could just imagine what led up to this scene. And people really enjoy it. So in future videos, we're going to talk about art appreciation, art tips. You will notice this is not so much to educate you about art history, although you can't help but learn it. When you do this, you learn the museums, you learn how important museums are. You learn about art history. You learn about different artists, which is really, really cool. Who knew? I don't have an advanced degree in art, but I feel like I could stand with the best of them when asked to describe an artwork. You know, this is a very good program to train docents in museums, because that's what docents do. So I hope you appreciate this very first introduction to celebrating the art experience. We'll be having more videos and posting them in ways that they are accessible to you. Thank you for your participation, and we're certain you're going to have a blast bringing this to communities all around the country.